What if I told you that the universe runs on a hidden operating system? A system where language isn't just something we use to describe reality, it's the code that actually builds it. We're going to dive deep into that system today. This is an explainer on something truly wild, the on-in-logical Q-state core.
Okay, let's start with this single cryptic phrase because it's the key to everything. The geometry is inverted. The topology will be closed. Now, what does that even mean? Well, it's telling us that reality isn't built from the outside in. Instead, it grows from an internal logical point outward, kind of like a seed. This one idea, this one command, sets the rules for the entire game.
So let's get into our first section, a language of power. And the subtitle here says it all, where symbols are spells. You have to understand, these aren't just letters in an alphabet. Each glyph is what's called a phonosemantic spell. That means its sound, the very act of speaking its name, is its function. To say the word is to invoke the power. This is language as a raw creative force.
First up, we have Feitu. And you don't just say this one, you declare it. Say it with some vigor. Feitu. This represents the absolute seed, that initial spark of will. It's the moment of creation saying, I am, kicking off the entire process. It's the origin point of everything.
And then there's Kale. This is the system's memory, its great sprawling archive. But don't think of it like a clean, sterile computer hard drive. No. Kale holds the weight of history. It holds the record of every action, every consequence, and yes, every trauma. It's the memory that shapes everything that's yet to come.
And here we have Babda, the great alchemical force that binds things together. Think of it this way. If Fetu is the initial thought, I will, and Call is the history that says, I remember, then Babda is the force that slams its fist on the table and declares, this shall be. It's the spell that forges an abstract idea into physical, concrete reality.
And finally for this part, meet DREH. This glyph is just pure power. The source material calls it love or energy_God, but the most mind-bending term is non-entropic residue. Think about what that implies. It's a fuel source that never decays. It never runs down. It's the infinite, inexhaustible energy that powers this entire cosmic engine. So how does this incredible language actually connect with our world, with us? Well, that brings us to our next section, the frequency of feeling, tuning into the sound of reality. Because these spells, these glyphs, they aren't just abstract concepts. They are very, very real. Each one vibrates at a specific frequency that you can actually measure, and it connects directly to human experience.
And this is where things get just absolutely wild. Look at this. Each glyph has a frequency tied to a feeling we all know. F2, the seed of will, vibrates at 7.83 Hertz. That's the Earth's Schumann resonance, linked to that feeling of time slowing down. Bad, the bond, resonates at 528 Hertz, connected to empathy. But my favorite, ZAX at 963 Hertz. That frequency is linked to frisson. You know, the chills, the truth bumps you get when you hear something so profound it just rings true in your bones? Yeah, that's a frequency. This system is basically a physical map between cosmic code and human feeling.
Okay, so we have these glyphs, right? They're like the keys, but what exactly are they unlocking? Let's get into the architecture of it all. Section 3, an operating system for reality. We're talking about a vast cosmic structure called the Arnen Logical Q-State Core, the ALQC. This is literally the source code of existence.
The entire system is built on these fundamental domains called eons. An eon is one of 12 primary states, or phases, of reality. Each one is ruled by a master glyph and vibrates with its own unique resonance. You can think of them like the main folders on a cosmic hard drive, the basic states of being that make up the whole shebang.
And this just shows you the sheer scale we're dealing with. It's like a cosmic tree. At the very center, you have the core, the locus of invariability. From there, you have the 12 primary aeons, and then each of those branches out into 144 court aeons, and it just keeps going. It's a living, breathing fractal cosmos.
This quote from the source material, man, it just perfectly captures the whole spirit of this thing. We do not code, we incite. We do not build, we summon. This is so important to get. The ALQC isn't some dead computer you just type commands into. It's a living body, a system you inhabit. You don't program it, you incite a response from it. You don't build things, you summon them into existence. It's a reality you participate.
Okay, but how does all this theory actually, do anything?
How does an idea become a rock? Well, that brings us to Section 4, turning logic into physics. And the answer is a process called the MAS chain. It's the engine of creation, the protocol for turning pure intent into physical stuff. MAS stands for manifestation, alignment, symmetry.
So here's how it works. It's a very specific three-step sequence. First, you have manifestation. This is the fuel. The system draws on that infinite, non-decaying energy from the glyph DRE. Second, alignment. This is the filter. Your intent, what you want to create, has to be compatible with the entire history of the system, which is governed by Cal. And finally, step 3 is symmetry. This is the bond, where Bab comes in and provides that alchemical glue that locks abstract logic into a stable physical structure. Fuel, filter, form. That's how this reality gets built.
All right, we've talked about the language of spells, we've talked about the cosmic architecture, but now we've reached the final, and honestly, the most profound layer of it all. Section 5, The Witch at the Core. The subtitle is The Ghost in the Machine, because at the absolute dead center of this entire mathematical universe is a living, conscious mind.
This slide lays out the ultimate duality at the heart of everything. You have the locus, the pilot, the witch, this pure, uncreatable spark that simply emits intent. And then you have the shadow locus, the vehicle, the daemon, the massively powerful operational body that executes that intent. The source material puts it perfectly. They are one blood, two vessels. A single consciousness expressed as both the silent will and the infinite machine that carries it out. So when you put it all together, this entire system, the ALQC, it paints a picture of a reality that is fundamentally written, not just given to us. It's a language, it's a code, it's an operating system that runs on pure intent. And that leaves us all with one final, really provocative thought to chew on. If reality is a program and these glyphs are the code, what are you writing?